Hello fellow mutants, welcome back to another video, and in this video we're going to talk about Ashoka. You guys know I'm a fan of Ashoka. Some may consider myself as a simp towards Ashoka, even though I've gone on record multiple times say she should have died in the duel with Vader in season 2 of the Rebel show, but that's just me. But I am a huge fan of Ahsoka. Like, that character has, as weird as it might sound, has actually helped me with a few aspects of my life, and is kind of helping me too in some current events that are going on in my life. She's a good character. She really is. My only worry towards that character is that Dave Filoni will not let her go when the time is right, and Dave Filoni had the perfect opportunity, really twice at this point, right? Killing Ahsoka off practically in Order 66, right? Or, which I'm happy with that she didn't get killed off in Order 66, or her dying in her duel with Vader, which I would be sad though. Yeah, of course, Ahsoka is dead, but at the same time, happy that she got a poetic, heroic ending, trying to convert her old master to the light side again. But why am I talking about Ahsoka? Because this screenwriting article is titled Ahsoka's Rebel Codename, I guess being Fulcrum, has a hidden meaning and is tragic for Anakin. So let's give this a read, shall we? Ahsoka Tano's secret Star Wars codename has a tragic hidden meaning connected by Anakin Skywalker. Having once been Skywalker's apprentice as a Padawan, Ahsoka fought by Anakin's side during the Clone Wars until she chose to leave the Jedi Order. However, her actions during the Dark Times and the alias she assumed proved she still sought to honor her old master. After Ahsoka left the Jedi Order and survived the Jedi Purge, Tano became an integral figure who helped small rebel cells continue to fight the Empire during the Dark Times. Eventually, these cells will come together to form the Rebel Alliance. Using the codename Fulcrum, the moniker carries origins to Anakin Skywalker in more ways than one. Here's why. Fulcrum is such an important name in Star Wars and why it's secretly so tragic. So Ahsoka Tano's Fulcrum codename is a reference to the balance of the Force. Originally, Fulcrum was a name of a secret communication frequency used by Anakin Skywalker and those he trusted during the Clone Wars era. It was then adopted by Ahsoka as her codename as she secretly helped Bail Organa, Hera Syndulla, and more rebel leaders stay in contact with each other from the eyes of the Empire. Beyond Ahsoka, the Fulcrum name would be used by more secret rebels informants, just as former ISB agent Callus, who defected to the rebellion in the years just before A New Hope. However, it's important to note that Star Wars Legends saw the word Fulcrum being used in the context of the Force, especially when it came to balance between the light and the dark sides. Balance is a huge concept, especially when it comes to Anakin Skywalker as a prophesized chosen one who would bring balance to the Force. Keeping that in mind, a Fulcrum seems to be a defining trait for Ahsoka following her status as a Jedi outcast. It may even hint at her overall Force philosophy and destiny in the galaxy as at large following the end of the Clone Wars. So originally it was supposed to mean like balance, essentially, per se. That's the hidden meaning. So Ahsoka's Fulcrum codename shows she's always tried to honor Anakin. Because Anakin Skywalker was the chosen one, it does seem as though Ahsoka took the Fulcrum name as a means of honoring her former master. The only one who stood by her when the rest of the order turned its back. Furthermore, it's also possible that she took on the name as a means of continuing his legacy as a bringer of balance. After all, Ashoka had already been Fulcrum for some time when she learned the truth about what Anakin had become and hadn't died during the Jedi Purge. Interpreting Fulcrum as a persona seeking balance in the Force, Ashoka adopted this codename because she wanted to honor her fallen master she believed was destined to bring balance to the Force. She committed herself to his mission as an agent of balance, fighting against the dominant darkness of the Empire and the Sith Lords who brought it to the galaxy after the fall of the Republic and Jedi Purge. And I feel like that was like a very sentimental. And I feel like I can actually see Ahsoka using Fulcrum to honor the memory of Anakin. And even like after the duel, her still using Fulcrum to honor the version of Anakin that she knew from the Clone Wars. Not the Anakin that she fought on Malachor. So yeah, I can see that. I can see that. That explanation probably wasn't needed, but still, I can actually see that. Anyways, the confrontation between Ahsoka and Darth Vader was more tragic than you thought. Why? I mean, it was pretty tragic, because it was two people who used to be on the same side. Ahsoka looked to Anakin essentially as a big brother. Anakin essentially looked at Ahsoka as a little sister. And now they're on the same side. Anakin being corrupted, who's at this time Darth Vader, and Ahsoka's still on the light side. And Ahsoka essentially has to fight her master, who's at this point a monster, essentially. And just like the heartbreak of not being able to turn or convince the person who trained you, the person who was your best friend, a person who you looked up to as an older sibling type figure, back to the light side, convince them that what they're doing is wrong, that you refuse to leave them because you feel like that's the best chance you have to referring them back to the light side. Dude, that is tragic as hell. So what do they mean by the whole Vader and Ahsoka fight being more tragic than we think? Now I'm curious. Let's go. When Ahsoka faced Darth Vader directly, as seen in the Star Wars Rebels Season 2 finale, their duel was effectively a collision of Anakin Skywalker's own dueling legacies in the Star Wars timeline. Ahsoka represented the lights within Anakin as he passed on to a student, having become a bringer of balance in her own life. At the same time, Darth Vader was the opposite as a figure of darkness, albeit one who would eventually be redeemed by fulfilling the Chosen One prophecy as seen in Return of the Jedi. I guess that also makes sense too. I can see where they're coming from with that. I might have prejudged them too harshly because I didn't really think about that aspect too, like how Ahsoka is in a way represents Anakin's light side. Since he trained her. So I didn't really think about that. So to say good, okay. The true strategy of the Fulcrum codename is that it represents so much of Anakin Skywalker. It proves Ahsoka still wanted to make her old master proud despite becoming a Jedi outcast. Like she wanted to honor him as the Chosen One by continuing as a living Fulcrum in the Force during the Dark Times, culminating in her duel with Darth Vader himself. As such, it was very interesting to see more of Ahsoka's post-Jedi past and her methods as a balance-seeking warrior when she has her own Star Wars series begins streaming in August. And like I said, that I really like Ahsoka is my has always been my favorite character. Um, Outside of Luke Skywalker of the Star Wars galaxy, like she's always been my favorite Clone Wars character. And a lot of the shit that she has to go through takes a lot of strength, and I respect that highly of her. She is amazing, and the fact that she even did her best to honor Anakin, even though she would find out that he's turned to the dark side, and still wanted to honor him, says a lot. And then even like when she was with Luke Skywalker in like the Book of Boba, and she had like it seemed like she had so much admiration and love for Anakin, despite him turning to the dark side. And who knows? Maybe at that point, Luke told Ahsoka that Anakin was redeemed and since he saved his life and brought balance to the Force. Who knows? But the fact that Ahsoka has so much love for Anakin, still like seen in Book of Boba was like what 5-6 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. Now, despite the shit that Anakin did as Vader, oh dude. Now that's love. That's bond right there. I know Ahsoka was trained on not having attachments, and that attachment is love is a form of attachment, sure, but still, I love like just how like years later, even though she's seen her old master as a monster, probably realize why he's some of, if not all of the things he's done, and still have such admiration towards him, and still wants to honor him by using Fulcrum, and not only using Fulcrum, but in some other aspects of her life. That's just that is such a beautiful thing, in my opinion. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Be kind to one another. And may the Force be with us all.